I kept looking for people to step forward that I knew I could follow.
And Greg, you said you were quiet.
Yeah.
Why? Was it just easier for you to be quiet?
Yeah, I felt like I didn't have a constructive idea. So yeah, if I was talking, it would have been a distraction.
Well, if you were in a support position, like if you were on a side and not a corner,
Yeah.
and you could like let go of the rope and know your end was, there wasn't anything else you could do. Yeah.
So I love this exercise, and I will say that it changed my life. In the late 90s, I was at a gay men's retreat, and we did this exercise. When I participated, I was silent the entire time, which sounds odd. Not very odd. And it went on for a long time. We probably did it for half an hour, and I was really frustrated the entire time, and I was angry. And I never let go because I was in it to participate, and I had pledged my obedience to the group, but I was pissed off. And there's a great picture of me right after this exercise talking to my friend Brennan, and I am livid. I am just angry. And I just love this exercise because it says a lot about leadership. Not about who steps up to be the leader, but that's important in this exercise. But how do you participate when there is no leader? Do you let go of the rope? Do you walk away? Do you quit? Do you get frustrated and want to go home? Or do you stay and you hold on to that rope even though it's not going the direction you want? And where's your voice? And if you use your voice, is it being drowned out by 7 other people? Because if everyone's talking, you can't get anything done. I just love this exercise because I think it is a great example of how to be a good leader, but more importantly, how to be a good follower. And yeah, you didn't get into a square, but you know what? No one ever gets it into a square. I mean, now you probably would have a better shot because you know the solution, right? So thank you for participating.
What I noticed inside me, I would immediately calm down when people talk, when I could only hear like one person talking who had a plan. I immediately calmed down inside. I immediately got agitated when a lot of people were talking and people weren't like paying directions. Like Tom and I talked, like people who were in the middle didn't go slack and stuff, and there was like, oh, I got so frustrated because nobody was listening to a logical instruction, and I found myself getting really, really agitated.
Right, but I think what's interesting, the lesson to be learned from that is you could have said, everyone be quiet, I need one leader. And if that one leader is Patrick, fine. Everyone else, I just need you to be quiet. And that would have gone a long way.
I noticed that the 2 diagonal corners, there was completely different conversations going on from that corner than it was from this one. Very interesting.
Have you thought of that? Like, being a boy means you are a leader. So congratulations. That's pretty amazing, right? But don't let it go to your head. I always say this, and I think it's definitely true. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. It is a hard task to be head boy because you are not responsible for putting on camp. You're responsible for making it happen, which are different things. So Larry has to organize us, get us all together. We're all swimming in the same direction. We're all reaching the same goal. That's a hard task. And for the boys, it is a hard task to put on camp. We sacrifice for this. We give our time, our blood, our sweat. There can be tears. There can be yelling. It's rough. And I think what's interesting about being a boy is that although we put on camp, sometimes we sacrifice and aren't able to fully participate in camp. And I just want to acknowledge that it takes leadership to do that. We step up, we volunteer, and it is work. The fun thing about leadership, which can be a challenge, is that there's risk in leadership. And I was talking to someone very smart this morning at breakfast, and he said, you know, leadership is really about throwing out ideas. So we have to promise each other to be creative, throw out ideas. If your idea is rejected, it doesn't mean you are rejected. And that is a really hard lesson to learn. So I would just say don't get too attached to your ideas. If we vote them up or down or change them, it's not about you as a person. So don't take it personally. And that can be a problem. Joe Ulmer, years ago when he was head boy, had this great model. Instead of